Hello students, welcome back. Today we are going to take a new poem from our literature reader. The name of the poem is The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. Let's see by the end of the class what are the things we going to learn. To enjoy imagery, to interpret the poem as an extended metaphor, to comprehend the message of the poem. Now, let's see more about the poem, the poet, and the meaning of the lines. Let's move on. Robert Frost was a leading modern American poet of nature and rural life. Most of his poems are upon natural elements. He was very interested in natural things he found in commonplace. Many of his poems have a New England setting and deal with the theme of man's relationship with nature. Some of the most interesting facts about our poet Robert Frost. He is the only poet to receive 4 Pulitzer Prizes for his work, and he also received many honorary doctoral degrees, although he never actually earned a bachelor degree. Now let's listen to the poem. We are going to learn the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. What main theme do you think the author was trying to communicate? Dear students, be careful. Robert Frost said this is a tricky poem. So, throughout this poem, let's look for hidden meanings and messages. Before moving to the poem, let's have a discussion on the title of the poem. The name of the poem, The Road Not Taken. See, the literal meaning, the poet refers to an actual road which has not been travelled on as much as other roads. The road shows less wear and tear because fewer travellers have chosen to take that road. But figurative meaning, the road symbolizes the journey of life that all humans travel on from the day they are born. So, let's see the poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost.
2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both, and be one traveler. Long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference.
Dear students, you listen to the poem. So let me ask a question. Where is the fork in the pathway? Is it in a village or is it in a city? What does the speaker regrets? What does the speaker do at the fork in the pathway? For finding answer for all this question, let us go through the poem and understand what does the poem means. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel, and be one traveller long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. The speaker described his position. He has been out for walking in the woods and comes in between the diversion of two roads. He stands there looking as far down each one he can see. He would like to try out both, but doubts he could do that. So, therefore, he continues to look down the road for a long time, trying to make his decision about which route to take. Why does yellow wood signify? What do you mean by the yellow woods? Here, the season of autumn, that means maturity. And do you know what the two paths symbolize in this line? The choice that we comfort and we have to make in our life. The two paths means the way that the choice that we have to make in our life. And what is the meaning of the word long I stood and looked? Here we can see that the poet is thinking or he is looking deeply about the choice he was about to make. And the last line, the bend in undergrowth represent that the future, we cannot see the future. So here by this line he is representing the future. We cannot see what is our future while taking a decision. Now let's move on to the second stanza. Then look the other has just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Here we can see that he was looking at a road for a long time, but he didn't choose that one. He took the other one as just as fair. And he says that, and having perhaps the better claim. Why he say like that? He have a better claim there. Here better climb means he thought it was less traveled, so he thought that it will get beneficiary out of that, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as from that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Now he says that the other road is taken by so many people, but this road is not taken by any other, and it is very fresh, greasy, and he wanted to choose the second road which nobody have chosen. See, he took down the first one to where it bent in the undergrowth, and then the second one, and he decided to take the other path because it seemed to have less travel than the first. But then he goes on to say that they actually were very similarly worn. The second one that he took seemed less traveled, but as he think about it, he realizes that they were really about the same. Not exactly the same, but only about the same. Now let's move on to the third stanza. And both that morning equally lame, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way lead on to way. I doubt if I should ever come back. Here he says that the both paths are equal. Do you know why? Because he says that both had fresh leaves on them. No one had walked on the leaves yet the morning. And we can see that he wished he could come back and take the other path which he did not chosen in sometime in future. He wished he could take back and take it sometime in the future, the path which he did not taken. He want to choose it in the future. But in reality, he knew that he cannot come back, give the way one path leads to another. He knew he may not be able to come back given the way one path leads to another. Okay. Leaves cover both roads equally. No one this morning has yet taken either road, for the leaves lie undisturbed. The speaker remains committed to his decision to take the road he had previously selected, saying that he will save the other road for another day. He observes, however, that he probably will never pass this way again and thus will never have an opportunity to take the other road. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. Here he is saying something in the future. Somewhere ages and ages, he will be aged, and he is going to tell us something. What does he think he would be saying something in the future? Do you have any idea? Okay, that maybe he will be thinking or saying like this, that he had to face a choice at one point in his life and he chose something that seemed more challenging. The two road diverged in wood, and I. Here you can see this line is repeated again. Why does he repeated that line once again? In order to give stress the importance of his choice. He had chosen his life. So in order to show the importance of that, he have repeated the lines once again. I took the one less travelled by. He selected the one which was travelled by a few people. You can see that with a sigh he is telling all this. Why he say it with a sigh? He sighed with relief that he had chosen what he thought was a better choice at that point, although later maturity taught him that either choice was just as good. He is happy to have reached where the path led him to. In this poem, the word difference is taken in a positive way, but there is nothing in the poem that suggests that this difference signals a positive outcome. The speaker could not offer such information because he has not lived the difference yet. The other word that leads non-discerning readers astray in the word sigh by taking difference to mean a positive difference. They think that the sigh is one of the nostalgic relief. However, a sigh can also mean regret. There is the oh dear kind of sign, but also what a relief kind of sign. Which one is it? We don't know. If it is a relief sign, then the difference means the speaker is glad he took the road he did. If it is the regret sign, then the difference would not be good and the speaker would be signing in regret. Now let's look the overall meaning of the poem. Robert Frost's poem The Road Not Taken seems to hold out the motto that life is continuous journey full of divergence now and then. The important thing is to move on without looking back whether the choice of path taken was right or wrong. The right or wrong are relative terms. We cannot get everything in life and have to make choices. Whatever direction in our life takes is determined by the choice made by us. In the journey of life, one can seldom come back to travel the roads not taken earlier. So, my dear students, try to find answer for these questions which is given at the end of the video. Hope you all understand today's class. Thank you, students. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day. Thank you.